Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page, where I do this daily live stream, or nearly every day. Welcome. And today is Wednesday, April 24th. April 24th. I know. Flies by, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'm here. I live in Toma, Wisconsin, and I'm up here at the Star Nations Academy where I do, I would say, 90% of my live streaming, and it's such a beautiful day. It's so sunny, and we got cloudy skies, but this morning it was like blue skies, and yeah, it's good weather. It's good stuff. Makes you feel happy, So. Before we get started, I am going to take my phone and I'm going to love and like, maybe love, and share the live stream. And I would invite you to do the same. We do this every day, right? So even if you share it with one other friend, right, with a friend or to your news feed, that's always a good thing. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send it over to my newsfeed just so that all my friends know that I'm live streaming. And of course, inviting them to please join us. There we go. There. Well, see, I do this so often. I have all these quick keys, so it doesn't take me very long. When on occasion, when my phone updates, I lose my keys, and it's like that first day or two. It's like, oh my God, because you have to slow down and actually spell, and spell out words. I know, such a life, right? Such a problem to have. I'm not complaining, not much anyway. And so today, we have a couple of cards, and one of the cards that we've never had before. So yay, right? Something new. And if you were here with me yesterday, the conversation that we had about Heyoka and Moon Lodge, that was like truly awesome. I walked out of here feeling like, oh my gosh, that was, when I say spiritual conversation, that is what I mean. We were talking about, the opposites and the energy behind that. And it was really good. If you didn't catch it, watch the video, the recorded of it. I think it's pretty good, because even the audience in the live chat, they were coming up with some really, really good stuff. And so, yeah, I enjoyed yesterday. So I'm hoping today is similar. And who do we have? We have Julie Shumway Hill in with us. Hello, Julie. Hello. Now remember, in order for me to actually show like what I just did for Julie, is that you actually have to put a comment in. That's what I see in the studio. And I do have my phone, so I could see, who is in the house, but maybe not making a comment, like Tanya. Hi, Tanya. Shh, she's probably at work. Yeah, that's what usually happens. And Stephanie's here too. Hello, Stephanie. She's probably busy getting things prepared to do those posts that she does for us. So, so today has been a very busy day. I bought George a new toy, and he's dismantling it right now. It might have lasted all of 10 seconds. Yeah. Dang. I thought it'd keep him busy for most of the hour, but that's not true. Okay, so today has been really busy, just running errands, doing stuff for Mom, and going to the bank, going to the store, that kind of stuff. Man, that eats up a lot of time. Because I had to go to one of my least favorite stores. It starts with a W. It has a lot of fluorescent lighting in there. Because there's, when you live in a small town, you don't have a whole lot of options in order to get certain items. And so they are only really the store that would carry certain things. And so once in a while, I actually have to go there. I don't know. This toy that I got was supposed to be like a tough toy. It's supposed to for dogs who like to chew and things like that. It's supposed to like be very durable. I guess they didn't meet George. Well, it keeps him busy, I suppose. He's just making some noises, so I was just looking to see what he was doing down there. He's very intent on it. All right, so the cards that we got today, and I haven't done this in a while, to show those that might not know what cards we're using, is to be able to say, tell people what cards they are. It's the Sacred Path cards. It's by Jamie Sams. It's published in 1996 or 1990. I forget. I think it was 1990. Yep, 1990. And in the show last night, my weekly show, my evening show, Communications from Home, we were talking about numbers and seeing sequencings and triple numbers and that sort of thing. Oh, it's another good show. That was fun. I actually showed everybody all the books that I use when I talk about numerology, or when I'm doing investigating, sleuthing about numerology, and because I got quite a stash of books for that. And I was explaining that the information that came out like in the 90s, right? A lot of it is still really relevant. It's kind of like our base, but we live in a much different frequency and vibration than we did back in the 90s, especially the early 90s. And so we have to expand on the base information. And how do you do that, right? And basically it is connecting with your spiritual team and asking them to show you the expanded and what you need to do to find the information about it, right? Yeah, that's good stuff. It's because, hey, Stephanie's in the house and she's saying shared from the phone, waiting on the computer to load. Do you remember dial-up? I'm sure you don't have dial-up, but back in the day, I mean, waiting for your computer at home to boot up, it was like I'd go make a cup of tea. I would go, let the dog in and out, that kind of thing, and I'd come back and maybe it might have loaded. But yeah, tested the patience, that's for sure. Yep. Have you tried a Kong with frozen peanut butter? Yes, we have. It's one of his favorites. And actually, we saved that as a special treat for like this morning. I left him home, George home, because I was going to go into the bank and I was going to get some of Mom's banking done and my banking for the business done. And I didn't know exactly how long it was going to take. And I had stopped by the store too. And so I left him home. But what I left him home with was his Kong with yogurt with peanut butter in it. His favorite treat in all the world. And so he does get that, but he gets it on special occasions. So it really remains special, right? Yeah. He loves it. And she also saying, yeah, I introduced my therapist to numerology day. She brought her oracle cards to experiment with, and I showed her the number correlations. She's buying a numerology book now. Well, it is a common language. It's like music, right? And music is based on math, on numbers. And she says the computer can be that slow sometimes here. Yeah, tries the patience, that's for sure. Water, yum. Got to stay hydrated for all the work that I'm doing. Got to stay hydrated. Make sure I'm a good conduit, right? Yeah. It's getting warm in here. Okay, so the cards today. The first card that came, we haven't had before. And so it was kind of nice to read some information from Jamie Sams that I haven't read before, right? And so I haven't read in a long, long time. Let's put it that way, because I didn't even remember it. This is the first card that came. Hour of Power. It's about ritual of joy. Yeah. Hour of Power and the ritual of joy. See if we can get that to focus. Let's see. There, maybe. Come on, camera, focus. There, it's a little bit better. But, it really is, with the sunshine, sun rays breaking through the clouds, right? Maybe feeling the warmth of the sun. Remember that old song, I Can See Clearly Now? All the rain's gone. Yeah. Who sung that? And where's Rob Kendall when you need him? Who did that song? Maybe Julie Hill is really good at this stuff too. Yeah, this is what it kind of reminds me of. All obstacles, right, have been removed. Yeah, Ritual of Joy. It's called the Hour of Power card. It's really good. Can't wait to tell you about it. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody in the chat. Oh, Rochelle's here. Hello, Rochelle. Good afternoon to you too, lady. And there's Pat. Good afternoon to you too, Rochelle. I did see that you called and left a message. I just haven't had a chance to even check my messages, so I will after the show. Okay. And thank you for sharing. It's always nice. I love it. And yes, thank you, Rochelle. Being grounded is so good. And we're going to talk about that. In fact, if you haven't grounded today, like Rochelle has, you might want to pause and take a moment and do your grounding, because we're going to be talking about that in just a little while. And so it'd be nice to be able to take in that information in a stable and calm energy, right? So you can really absorb the essence, the spirit of the card, and the meaning, and the more importantly, the expanded meaning. Yay. Oh my gosh, I can tell I know Star Nations is busy, but when I look at what we're doing and what we're offering you guys, and when Stephanie does the post, it's like, thanks folks, we got a lot of stuff out there. It's a lot of information. Yeah. And this one is important. Polly Jo is sick. Yeah, she's not feeling well. And that we're doing a replay of an earlier show this month for her, because she's going to be taking the evening off. I talked to her earlier today. Yeah, she's working her way through it. And so she says hi to everybody. But she's resting. She's getting a lot of fluid intake, and so she's going to be okay. She's got to get some energy built up for her weekend, because her first year students are graduating this weekend. So if you are so inclined and you've got a little time, just send her some love, right? Yeah, send some heart to heart, right? Love to her, because that's what she's working on right now, is gathering the strength, because she's resting. She burned herself out. And I've been there, so I can not just empathize but sympathize with that. So just send her some love if you get the time, and you're so inclined to do so. Love will help a lot. So Pat grounded, yay, and so did Julie, triple yay with the Rochelle, right? And Rochelle says, I just talked to my doctor who took x-rays of my left knee. I've had a partial knee replacement about 8 years ago. While he thinks I need a total knee replacement because of the severe osteoarthritis and bone spurs. My left knee keeps collapsing when I get out of the chair or bed. Bummer. Rats. You're going to be the bionic woman pretty soon with all the joint stuff that you're working on. Yeah. I don't have my copy here. I know like feet and legs and knees is about, forward movement. And if anybody has their Louise Hay book handy, if you could look up knees and especially the left knee, and we'll give Rochelle a little insight maybe, and unless you already know Rochelle, it's possible, right? What you know about the left knee and the movement forward. Yeah. Okay, so hour of power. Now, the hour of power is all about our internal timing. Our internal timing. And everybody has it. All two-leggeds have it. And even the four-legged have it. Yes. The hour of power is that time of day when you feel really, really good. You feel rested, you feel energized, you feel creative. It's that time of day, right? That you're just really alert and you feel really, really good, really good. And it's different time for everybody, right? And from what I read, what Jamie wrote, she was saying that it's about a 12-hour span of time that and we all have this too, the opposite of it, which is that time of day where you feel really tired and run down. And, that's usually when we grab the cup of coffee or that sweet something to get the energy burst, right? Yeah, everybody has a different timing of it. Mine is somewhere between 3 and 4 in the afternoon is where I get really tired. And I could just lay down and take a nap. And usually within a half hour or so, it's done, it's gone, and I'm back, right? Now, the thing is that they say that it's the opposite. So if that's 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 12 hours difference, right? 12 hours difference would be in the morning. And I have to tell you, I'm asleep at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know that, but this is also, your internal timing, that best time of day for you, it shifts and changes as you shift and change. When we have, like Rochelle, when we have surgery, when we have a trauma of any kind, it kind of gets us off kilter. It gets us off our rhythm. And sometimes it takes a while to get back into that, but it does shift and change. And so just because you might have what you used to have it, right? Like maybe it was 10 o'clock in the morning that you felt really, really good. Right. And then you realized, some time has passed. You think, yeah, I used to feel really good in the mornings. Now I don't anymore. Now I get my second wind at 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night. That's me. That's me. Yeah. But see, my life has changed a lot. Yeah. So I have to say that, I'm probably much more alert and have a lot more energy at 10 o'clock in the morning than I ever used to. So you have to be really aware of your body and how it feels, your emotions around it, to find out when your hour of power is. Yeah. So Stephanie is saying, grounded, I'm going to have to leave early today. Okay. That's okay. I totally get that. You got Ben, right, to take care of. And hey, Minnie, she says, Ann and I are listening and are sending their prayers and love to Polly Joe. Oh, good. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies. Yeah, the healing energy is good too, but she's got so many healers around her. Her whole school is filled with healers. And I was saying that when I was talking to her, I said, I think that if we can just concentrate on the vibration, the feeling of love, and sending you love, that is going to help you rejuvenate so much quicker because of the higher frequency of it. And so because when you're tired and you're fatigued and when you're in that amount of pain, you just can't do that. You can't get there, right? And so, but if we surround her with it, and lift her up with the energy of joy and love, that she can tap into it then, right? Yeah. So thank you for that. Rochelle says yes, about 1 to 4 p.m. Is your good time or your low time, Rochelle? Yeah. Is your hour of power is when you're feeling really, really good, right? Energized and like you can take on anything. You're really creative. Your hour of power. And yeah. Thank you, Rochelle, for sending her some Reiki. That's good. All right. So Stephanie says, Rochelle, make sure you are eating a lot of deep greens. Beet tops are really high on that list. Unless you are on a blood thinner, then ask your doctor. Deep, dark greens are full of bioavailable calcium and selenium and iron. Dates should help with the pain too. They're high in magnesium. Yeah, and really it is about absorption too, because just because we take it in, sometimes it's how we take it in can make a difference. Yeah, that's why smoothies are really good, because it gets absorbed into our body so much easier and very quickly. Yeah, if you can get the dark greens and that kind of stuff in a smoothie somehow. Yeah. Hey, Christine's here. I got 2 of my sisters in the house. Hello, Christine. Yeah, at the good time. Okay, from 1 to 4. All right. Yeah. So, how do you find out, right? How do you know when your hour of power is? What Jamie writes about is that when we're connected to Grandmother Earth and we're consciously aware of our connection to her, that our hour of power is directly connected to her, right? And so what you could do is take a little time to go outdoors, out in nature, and have a little time out there and watch. Be really, really aware of your body and what it feels like. Okay. Do your grounding, get connected to grandmother, send her some love, and just watch and see how your body feels at different times of the day. Because it's our connection to Grandmother Earth that helps us to identify that. And everybody has those hour of power, and everybody has those hour of not so power, the complete opposite of it. We all do. It's natural, and it's a natural rhythm. And so when we know about it, we can plan certain things around that time frame. It's like, when I'm really, really tired and I could just lay down and take a nap, I better not be doing anything with numbers, because I get dyslexic. I am dyslexic with numbers, and I get them turned around. So, and so I know that when I'm feeling really good, that's the time to do the bookkeeping stuff. That's the time to do the budget stuff, you know? Yeah. It's kind of funny, isn't it? That I'm dyslexic with numbers, but I just love numerology. And I'm pretty good at it. That's interesting. So just notice it's time to be able to slow down and take an evaluation of yourself, right? In yesterday's card, the Moon Lodge was also about claiming our divine right, our birthright to have was something about our body. Oh shoot, now I can't remember because it was really, really good. But is that our being human? That's it. Of being human, and that we are spirit in a physical body. We're energy in a physical body. And so when we are able to connect to Grandmother Earth, we can have an easier time being in our own body and knowing when it feels really good and knowing when our optimal is not optimal anymore, So, it's okay to take a nap too. It's okay to slow down when you're feeling that low time during your day, right? Rather than this is me, rather than having a cup of coffee, right? Rather than have a cup of coffee is just to slow down a little bit. Maybe read, maybe do something that isn't going to take a whole lot of energy to do, and honor that time, and rejoice, be joyful in your hour of power. Yeah, is to plan, those certain things during that time of day, right? Rather than pushing through. Come on. How many of us have pushed through the fatigue, right? When you're not feeling that energized. And rather than reaching for the cup of coffee or even the tea that has caffeine in it, is to honor that time and allow yourself to rest, right? And I'm going to have to walk my talk on that because I am probably the worst role model when it comes to that. Why? Is because I'm a triple fire. I keep going. And so I need to be able to take my own advice, right? Yeah. All right. Rochelle says, love walking outside by the river and I go barefooted. Feels fantastic. Yes, it's that connection to Grandmother Earth. And and really it's about being in our own body, right? Yeah. Hey, Esperanza is here too. Hello there, lady. I'm so glad to see you in the chat. Thanks for being here. This is the card we got, the first card. It's called Hour of Power, and it's about it's about the ritual of joy. The ritual of joy. I just even like that phrase, don't you? Ritual of joy. Have you ever heard that phrase before? Ritual of joy. Thank you, Esperanza. That's really nice of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I did talk to Polly Jo earlier today, and yeah, she just needs to rest. She needs to rest, and yeah, she does need to do the doctor thing. And she's surrounded herself. Her whole school is about healing, and so her third year students, they're on it. They've been helping her, and so yeah. So when we're sending good thoughts and a lot of love, because I was saying that she's just really tired, and to be able to tap into that frequency of love will help her to be able to make it through the weekend, because she's got another class that's graduating this weekend. Yeah. So That's good. So Jamie goes on to say that she says, so it's that each person also has an hour of power during a day cycle. For all people, their special time of day or evening is their hour of power. The power that lives as truth is no more than our acknowledgement and proper use of all aspects of ourselves. I like that sentence. Because if we look at ourselves or see ourselves as a whole being, right? The power that lives as truth is no more than our acknowledgement and proper use of all aspects of ourselves. Yeah, so I have this saying about allocating our energy, and to me, this speaks to that. Is that where we allocate? Where do we place our energy in what we're doing? So if you recognize where your hour of power is, it's an opportunity to be able to experience certain things during that hour of power, because you're much more creative during that time frame, right? Your energy is much higher during that time frame. Yeah. And you're probably even more open to something new, or it's something that seems new, than when you're less than alert. Yeah. So she goes on to say that if you want to find your hour of power, notice when you feel at your best and when you feel at your weakest. The times are usually the exact opposite by 12 hours. These are your internal cycles. We all have the internal timepiece that sends us a splash of energy and vigor when we connect to the earth at the peak hour of our personal cycle. When we are out of touch with our bodies or Mother Earth, from which we are made, we lose our sense of timing. Without that internal timing, we tend to lose our balance. So this is about being grounded, right? And so if you do your grounding at or just before your hour of power, yeah, that's like completely optimum. And your grounding and your protection, depending on what you're using, lasts about 12 hours. And so I was connecting dots this morning. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it. And Esperanza is saying, I'm one of her graduates this weekend. We all want all of her whole goddess being present. Yes. Yes. And so does she. So does she. And so that's why she's taking it easy. That's why she didn't have her show yesterday, and she's not having her second show this evening. Yeah, and I told her that, there's so many of us that love you. And so I said, when I have my show this afternoon, I'll be asking people to send you a whole bunch of love, to see her in that pink light of love, right? Surrounded by it. Yeah. Lifting her up. Just even talking about it makes me feel good. Sending somebody like that love, right? All right. So it's Jamie goes on to say that it's important to be silent and to feel that hour of power in each day as it feeds and nourishes your body, heart, mind, and spirit. It is the zero rest point balance. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. It is the zero rest balance point, akin to the pause in between the in-breath and the out-breath of your body, the place that is perfectly neutral just before the birth of a new phase of creation. Our spirits come from the wind, which is also our breath. The spirit pauses when our internal timing is shifting gears. Then the spirit fills the body with the total joy and exuberance. Okay. So that's about being in the in-between, the betwixt and the between. And the Celts say that's where the magic is, right? So it's just before it's kind of like a sunrise or a sunset. It's just before the sun breaks the horizon or sets in the horizon, okay, is a very powerful moment. And if you've ever really watched and been a part of a sunrise or a sunset, there's a moment when the sun either breaks that horizon that everything becomes very still. There's no breeze, there's no birds chirping, there's no frogs singing, and it's just a moment. But that's what Jamie's writing about, is that it's just before you begin your hour of power that you have this quietness, this silence, just before you go in. And I would imagine that it's exactly the same 12 hours later when your energy is dipping. That's like the sunset. And so when the sun breaks the horizon in its descent, there's also a moment of that in between. Yeah. And the Celts, I believe it, that's where the magic is in the betwixt and the between. It's in the gap. When we're drumming and the sound, it's the magic is really in between the beats. In between the beats is where the sacred geometry lies. That's where the magic is. And that's what our prayers, when we drum a prayer, that's where the prayer resides. As you're sending it out into the universe, as you're sending it out to the Creator. Yeah, so this makes sense to me. It really does. She says that the hour of power is a ritual of joy. It's the time of day when each individual is filled with the essence of aliveness and pure connection to all of creation. As this time is unique with each person, it's a solitary time that invokes a sustaining flow of aliveness that will feed that person with great mysteries, pure mana or life force, also known as prana. And we take that in through our crystalline tube, our prana tube, our hara line. She says to call on the medicine of the hour of power, you need only to close your eyes and breathe in the pulses of Mother Earth's heartbeat and create the joy through remembrance. Remember how it felt during your hour of power. And you can call that back to you anytime during the day. You can remember that. She says, due to the lack of earth connection in modern urban world, many have disconnected from their personal rhythms, which is true. And if we take that, expand that a little bit more, is that we're always connected to Grandmother Earth, always. But many times we don't turn our awareness or to our focus to it. And so every time you do your grounding, that's what you're doing, is you're turning your awareness and your focus to your connection to Grandmother Earth and exchanging love. Yeah, that is the magic. That is part of the key to ascension. Yeah. She also says that when there has been a growth period, change in consciousness or healing, the hour of power may change. We're constantly evolving, and our internal timing will also regulate to the new growth. Then the body's original hour of power can take on a new rhythm or a different timing due to its new state of health. So it's changing just like we are. Yeah. All right, Rochelle is saying, I'm going to take my hand drum down to the river and drum after this show. Good one, Rochelle. I wish I was there. I'd go down there with you, barefooted. Yeah, of course. There's no other way. Esperanza say, I shared to my friends, I love your show, Neshi. Ah, thank you. Yes, the space in between. Yes, it's magic. It really is. So the application of this card, in the application of it, the Hour of Power speaks of rituals of joy. No matter what your present situation, you're being asked to do what gives your heart the greatest joy. Drop any activity that is taxing and focus on connecting to the earth and being fed with the energy you need to maintain happiness. This card signals the zero rest balance point that will keep you from becoming out of harmony if you realigned body, mind, and spirit by doing something that gives you joy. This little happiness break is what will keep you from breaking apart if you're stressed out. And how many of us are not stressed out, right? The life force is available to you in this moment. Be reminded not to leak this precious mana on regret or indecision. The keynote here is celebrating life. Find the blessings that give you joy. Discover your hour of power and feed the talents that allow you to develop your greatest potential. So, in other words, is in the application of your gifts. That when you use your gifts during your hour of power, you know, what the feeling I get is that it's exponential. It's a good word. Exponential. I mean, your gifts you can use anytime, anywhere, all day long, right? But when you tap into the energy that connects you to Grandmother Earth during that time that's optimal for you, my feeling is that it's exponential. You know, that you can reach even further with your energy. If you're a healer, if you're a teacher, yeah, gives you something to think about, doesn't it? How you plan your day. What do you plan? What do you do when you're feeling really, really good? When you're at your optimum? Yeah. How do you plan your day? What do you do? And it's something that you can change, right? You can place something that really brings you joy during your hour of power when you feel really, really good. Because it's going to be exponential. I think it's a great idea. Yeah. I kind of do that already, right? Because I literally get my second wind. I feel really good at 9:30 at night, 10 o'clock, something like somewhere in between there. And so that's when I do some stuff for Star Nations that really takes more of creativity, right? Coming up with the promotions. Yeah, those images. That's when I do that. Yeah, and when I'm not feeling all that great, I do parts of the Unity Breath meditation. I bring to me those images that I just love and appreciate of both Grandmother Earth and Grandfather Sky, and I bring those images to me. And so it puts me at the frequency of love. And so it helps me to be more at my optimal when I'm not optimal. when I wasn't really feeling it, right? Yeah. But then again, I have to take my own advice, is that when my optimal time is done and I'm at that 12 hour or around the 12 hours later, and I'm not feeling my best, is to literally rest. That rhymed. When I'm not feeling my best, is to literally rest, is to take a break, right? Is to take a break. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that and see how I can be more in a line with my energy during the hour of power. All right, so the second card that came, we've had before, but not in a long while. Okay, this is the power place. It's about the earth connection and empowerment. And it's about our earth connection and empowerment. Yeah, Monument Valley. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to read the poem. Here, hang on. Let me get back there. I forgot to read the poem about Hour of Power. You know how much I like Jamie's poetry. So here we go. Hour of Power poem. She writes, "Oh, sacred hour that reconnects my spirit with the whole. Mother Earth will fill me up through my heart and soul. I will sing my spirit song. I will be at one. I will share my energy like earth, moon, and sun." It's a good one. I like that. Mother Earth will fill me up through my heart and soul. That Jamie, she knows how to write a good poem. All right. So here's that second card. Power place. It's about the earth connection and empowerment. She says that that there have been many, many books written about a mythical or real person going to a place of solace to seek at one-ment with themselves or the great mystery. Yeah, kind of reminds me of Minnie shared with us about her trip to France and being connected. I think it was with Saint Francis, wasn't it? Saint Francis of Assisi, and that and his cave that he would go to. Everybody has a place that they feel is a special place for them. And the best places are in nature, I think. But given that, if we expand the information, right, is that everywhere on Grandmother Earth is sacred. And we can make a place sacred when we hold ceremony there, right? You can go to a sacred spot, a sacred site, absolutely, and get connected there and feel your connection to Grandmother Earth there and all the energy that is concentrated there. You can certainly do that, and we've done that many, many times. But you can make a place sacred anywhere, anytime. It's holding ceremony there, holding your intention for that place to be a sacred space, right? It's really more about your connection to Grandmother Earth. Yeah, and the way it feels, and the way it feels. She says that power places are as varied and individual as each person on the planet. Each inch of Earth Mother is sacred, and each location is a connecting place for someone. Power places are created when energy is drawn to one area. So you can create a sacred space, a sacred site of your own. She says, when we do ceremony, we have not forgotten to dance our joy of unity and harmony, and thus healing ourselves whenever we do ceremony. Because really, it's in the preparation that we already start that connection with spirit, with Grandmother Earth. We already start that. And when we're actually in the ceremony itself, it's kind of like, this is how I envision it. It's kind of like how ley lines meet and cross. When they do that, where they cross, where they interconnect, right, is a concentrated power. And that's why the ancient ones would build sacred sites there, places to go to hold ceremony, right? That's why they would, at the holy wells, that they would hold ceremony. And then the churches got built on top of the holy wells. Yeah. So that's what that reminds me of. In learning how to find an individual power place, it's important to walk the land until we feel a drawing within us to an exact spot. The keynote is trusting our feelings and then being quiet as we sit on that spot for a while. When our earth connection is strong, we come to an enwonement with the 4 elements. We can change the weather, exact healings, and or commune with the spirit world when we are totally connected. The earth connection gives the energy needed to use our natural gifts, abilities, and talents. Without the earth connection, many plans and dreams will vanish, for they have no manner in which to become manifest. So when you do your grounding, it's no small thing, because you're literally setting the stage. You're setting the table. You're setting yourself up to be able to bring in as much as the vibration, the light language that you possibly can. And your mental mind might not even recognize it as such. But there's aspects of ourselves that do recognize it. And when we're grounded and connected to Grandmother Earth, we are so much stronger and more stable in order to be able to take in that amount of energy, of information. Rochelle says the energy in Asheville, North Carolina is very strong. Deb and I could feel the energy. Well, good. And that's someplace where you wanted to move to, right? Or thinking about it. The drumming circle we went to felt like magic. I bet it was. So in the application of the power place, that you're seeking a way to become a catalyzer of certain life events if you've chosen this power place card. Being the catalyzer in any situation means you're commanding your talents to affect some kind of result. This ability is learned through earth connection. Your body can conduct the energy you need to create the desired outcome if you allow the Earth Mother to feed you the extra voltage. Find a personal power place and call upon the 4 elements through prayer and gratitude. Then you can command your talents for good and affect the empowerment of manifestation. In so doing, your needs will be met. You can make it happen by using your creativity and receiving the energy needed from Mother Earth. Remember that you are a catalyzer and are totally responsible for your personal empowerment. And as I was reading that, my drums are creaking. They're talking. Yeah. And so what is a catalyzer, right? And so I looked it up. This was a long time ago. And I wrote in my book, it says, a catalyzer is one who, to modify, especially to increase, to bring about, and to initiate change. A person who proactively helps another. It's also a chemical reaction. In other words, you're making the change. You're the energy that makes the change. And you know where that happens? In the betwixt and the between. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these 2 cards together, okay? So as you look at the cards, my suggestion is just to take a deep breath in, and at the top of that breath is to hold it just for a second, and on the exhale, right? Because you're bringing all aspects of yourself present. And just take in the energy, the essence, the spirit, the medicine of the cards, right? Hour of power and power place. So your hour of power, when you're connected to Grandmother Earth at that time, you become the power place, drawing on that gift that Grandmother Earth is giving you to amp up your voltage. That's what it meant by exponential. And this is really living your life consciously and really tapping into the natural energy coming from Grandmother Earth, taking the opportunity to be really connected to your own power, your own medicine, during that time that you are at your optimum. So it's the coming together of Grandmother Earth's energy and your energy to create, for you to be that power place. It's a sacred time. It's the essence of co-creation. Think about that. Absorb that one. It's the essence of co-creation because you're conscious of it. Yeah. Take it in because Spirit's really telling us that we're creators. And when we are consciously aware of the best time of day for us is, and to plan around that time, to do certain things, and to be grounded, to be totally aware of your connection to Grandmother Earth. Literally, on Earth, everything that's created here, right? All the stone people, the standing people, the those who swim, those who fly, all our relatives. We get to create together. Tapping into that. So this is very powerful. Very, very powerful. In that recognition, that recognition of our true nature. Yeah, it's a good one. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you recognize, when you know your hour of power? It's pretty exciting. What are you going to create? What are you going to co-create? Because you're a very powerful being at that moment. Yeah, so what are you going to create? How are you going to use your gifts during that time frame? Yeah, gives us something, a pause, doesn't it, to consider when that is. Yeah, so the first thing to do is to recognize when your hour of power is, when you're at your best. And just before that time is to connect to Grandmother Earth, get grounded. Be at the frequency and the vibration of love. And then roll up your sleeves and get busy and do your creation. Yeah, sounds good to me. You're going to have to let us know, okay? Let us know what this is for you or what you've created. It's kind of fun. All right. So you know that anything and everything that we shared today, if it resonated with you, is to embrace it. Embrace it and see and watch and notice how the energy of today is unfolding around you, and whether you are a direct participant in that flow, or maybe you're somebody's witness to their activity. Both are good. Both are really good. If it didn't resonate with you, that's okay. That's all right. Maybe we missed your hour of power. That's okay. No, don't worry about it, because there's always tomorrow and tomorrow's cards, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So what's left up going up this week is we have Maureen Mann's show, Angel Therapy, at 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And she's talking to us about soul purpose and Archangel Nathaniel, and how Archangel Nathaniel can assist us in that. And then she's doing angel card readings. And we increased Maureen's show time from an hour to an hour and a half, so that she can fit in everybody that needs a card, or would like a card, I should say. And so that's 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. is 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern time, talking too fast, is the Mystery School with Carl and Orton Franklin and myself. And we have a little surprise for you going on during that show. And we're talking about and sharing about living in two worlds. Okay. So maybe you can join us for that show too. Yeah. And did you know that today is my 401 live stream show? I've done 401 live streams in a year, just about a year. That's a lot. That's a lot. And so tomorrow, we're going to celebrate a little bit about that. I haven't done a magazine giveaway in a while, so we're going to give away a past. Actually, we're going to do two past issues of Star Nations magazine. So if you'd like one, come on in, because we're going to select from the people in the live chat. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Okay. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day this Wednesday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for the daily live stream and group card draw. All right. Bama Mina. That means until we see each other again in Potawatomi. I love you guys.